with nothing to lose. They're going to come out hard. They're going to play, fancy-free. Other guys are going to try to get involved. And like you said, Maxey was the leader. He was the catalyst, getting the ball up and down the floor, getting other guys involved. And everybody just really, picked up his energy, and they just played off of it. And our energy level just didn't look nowhere near like that, And, again, the one thing about this road trip is you can always pencil in games that you think you should win, but sometimes it doesn't happen that way. It's the NBA, But this, to me, was not a good loss for the Lakers. I mean, they just didn't show any fight tonight for whatever reason that may be. And, again, lack of focus of really keeping the ball and turning, just keeping control of the ball, making decisive passes. Everything was like a flip. Everything, it just seemed like they didn't have no rhythm. And again, we went back to the defense. The defense kind of broke down. And after that, everything just went downhill.
President has not been a good city to the Lakers over the years. A lot of losses in a row here to Philly.
Yeah, no doubt. It was always so crazy. When I was covering the team for the LA Times, you go there when Kobe was playing, boo! They would boo him. And the Lakers did okay in the Kobe Bryant era in that city. But the last few years, as you said, Geet, not friendly at all. You know what else wasn't friendly tonight? That second quarter. 48 points for the Sixers. I mean, no turnovers for them in that quarter. They had 16 free throws also in that quarter. What does that tell you? Lakers turning the ball over and then just fouling people. Reaching, not getting good position, maybe a little tired the second night of a back-to-back. Maybe in that second quarter, trying to figure out, is AD coming back? What's going on with him? And now, Geet, all eyes do turn towards Anthony Davis. Maybe J.J. Redick has an update for us after the game, because those abdominal strains, they can last. This could be more than he's going to sit out the Washington game in a couple nights. Hopefully not. He's been really good the last couple of years, coming back quickly from injuries, but hate to see him leave in that first quarter.
Yeah, obviously the 48 are the most they've given up in a quarter this season. The 73 in that first half, the most they've given up this season. Byron, I'll start with you and Tyrese Maxey. What a great night for him. James called him, the catalyst, the guy that was kind of leading the charge, and absolutely right. Listen, he is a star in this league, and he saw his opportunity tonight and cooking. 43 points, 41 after three, by the way.
Maxey is a heck of a basketball player. You got to give him a lot of credit. Made the All-Star team last year. We'll do it again this year. Mm-hmm. He is a bona fide superstar in this league, and he can do it. You can do it in a number of ways. I mean, he can get you downhill. He gets other guys involved. He can score from the inside, outside. I mean, he's just a phenomenal basketball player. You can tell by just watching him and hearing some of the stories that he's a terrific kid. He's a great little leader as well. So you gotta feel happy for him in the way he played tonight. Mm-hmm. But again, he saw the opportunity of, look, we got two of our big guns out. I'm gonna take over, and that's exactly what he did from the start of this game. His motor was higher than everybody else, and he just went after guys from the get-go.
Yeah, and James, look, I mean, they have some good role players around them. He's trying to keep this team afloat because Paul George and Embiid have missed so many games this year. They're just 17 and 27. I think now they go to 18 and 27. They've won 3 in a row, but that's, Maxey's doing all he can to keep that team competitive. You cannot take this team lightly with him on the court.
Doing a good job, too. I mean, he got Counsell involved, Oubre, Gordon. But, Maxey, his energy, he had the highest plus minus on the team, plus 20. That means he was doing everything with a lot of energy and with a purpose, not just scoring, but how he was benefiting his other teammates as well. So this kid, I liked him. I had him his rookie year in the All-Star game.
That's right.
Missed a couple of free throws, cost me my victory. But since then, he's really emerged, man. I mean, this guy he's right up there with the elites in his position and as a player in the league.
And he gives hope to guys and teams who are not drafted in the top 20. Mm-hmm. He was a 21st overall pick. You don't have to be a lottery pick to be like this.
That's right.
Jalen Brunson, who is starting for the East in the All-Star game, another talented point guard, another example of that. So, the Sixers got lucky with this guy. He's obviously the best part of their season. Joel Embiid has played 13 games. Paul George, who they gave $212 million to, he's missed a third of their games already. Wow. So this kid really is all Philly has to cheer about. Right now, they're right on the cusp of being in that play-in game. They were 11th coming into today. Don't know if this pushes them up. Don't really study the Eastern Conference play-in standings, but bottom line, Geet, he's a really talented kid.
Guys, when you look at the turnovers in the last 2 nights, and I know, the result was a win in Charlotte, but you're looking over the last 24 hours, those are 41 turnovers combined, big game, James. So, listen, there's no more D-Lo, so the ball handlers, it goes down to Austin and LeBron, so other guys have to take care of the basketball as well. And then you lose AD, no Gabe as well tonight. Just a recipe for trouble.
For disaster, especially after last night's game when you win and you turn the ball over like you did. It could be, a negative thing that's floating around. Then you come in tonight and you see it carried over. So, yeah, Reeves he's become the primary ball handler. So quite naturally, he may turn it over maybe 2 or 3 more times a game because he just handled the ball and people are still getting used to his tendencies. But in a game like this with no AD, possession of the basketball is most important. And you have to make the defense work to get a good shot, and they didn't do that.
Another case for AD as the best defensive player in the world. Pyro. If we're going to put a positive spin on this?
Listen, AD is, we all know,
continue to beat this drum until someone listens to me?
As we all know in this room, he's one of the best defensive players in this game. And he covers up so many flaws that you might have as individual defenders on a basketball team. And that's why he's so great, because you can funnel guys towards him knowing that he's here that he's there to protect you.
Yeah.
So when if you'd have told me, look, we had 41 turnovers the last 2 games, you're lucky to be 1-1 in those games, because normally when you have that many turnovers in 2 games, you don't win games with that many turnovers. So, you had to have an extraordinary night by AD the other night for 40-20, just to win that game. So this is a trend in the last 2 games that obviously the Lakers have to take care of.
So I want to ask you this, because, you look at that Boston game, the Lakers, I thought it was their best game of the year. Then Warriors was an incredible game. And then that first quarter of Charlotte, and they looked so good. They built up a 33-9 lead. From that moment, kind of the foot went off the gas a little bit. And listen, they're also human, so it's not always easy to get up on a Monday night or a Tuesday night when you're on the road during the middle of a road trip. But those are just excuses, right? What have you seen kind of in these last 6 quarters or so? That's they were minus 38 one time. You put some of those quarters together.
Yeah, I think just what you said. I think what you said. You take the foot off the pedal, you get complacent, and all of a sudden it starts to develop in a negative way. So now it's going the other way. You've played, 10 great quarters. When you look at Boston, Golden State in the first half, you played 10 great quarters, and then all of a sudden you get a little complacent because you think, oh, man, we got it. It's just like golf. You hit a few good shots, and all of a sudden you think you hit one bad one.
Big Game knows what you're talking about.
you hit one bad one, and it's like that snowball effect. So, again, they just got to go back to just refocusing on all the good things that they were able to do in those 2 games and just get back to it. And again, the fundamentals of basketball is not very hard. Taking care of the basketball is not very hard. Being flipped with the basketball is, because when you start just throwing it all over the place, you start giving up layups and easy buckets to other teams.
NBA is just part of the game. You got another game a couple nights later. Golf, Big Game knows. I just get in the cart, go to my car, and drive
Forget
off.
about that last shot.
Quit. 4 holes to go.
A couple of drinks, though. You can drink in golf. Can't drink in this game.
You get a worthy splash, and you're back. And you're back. I believe B. Moore said we got J.J. Redick talking to the media.
Yeah, JJ, anything further on Anthony Davis at this point?
No. No.
You were up, I think, 2017 when he left. What did you see from that point on in the game?
The second quarter. Look, 3 and 4 nights back-to-back. I'm not sure where our sort of collective brains were at. I understand the physical fatigue. We were a step slow all night on Maxey, particularly in that quarter. Talked pregame about having a compact shell. We were hugged up on our guys, not just on Maxey, on everyone. Talked about the guys that were heavy shift guys that we could be in a help position off of, and just just get to the basket, get to the basket, get to the basket, get to the basket. And then, frankly, you're not going to win a game if somebody takes 19 more shots than you and gets 8 more offensive rebounds. Like, we're throwing the ball everywhere. I think that is just, again, fatigue, mental and physical, just bad decision making and, poor execution, very unorganized throughout the game. Not our best.
You just alluded to it. You meant the 3 games in 4 nights. This does happen in the NBA, but how do you balance kind of frustration with understanding of that in these settings?
You have to look at the big picture. The big picture is we're heading in the right direction, and missing a bunch of key players. So
prior to the time LeBron took some time away from the team, turnovers in high volume was kind of a recurring issue for him. Did you see anything tonight that was reminiscent of the same way he was getting those turnovers back then?
Yeah, certainly forced a couple. There was some Eric Gordon's strip on him in the post, like good individual defense. We actually, believe it or not, we actually defended well for the second half and the first 8 minutes of the game. Is that last 4-minute stretch in the 12 minutes of the second quarter where we were just terrible defensively, and obviously the turnovers hurt that. But when we actually found something good in the second half, and then we just didn't execute it. And 2 of those turnovers that he had were on those plays. I'm not sure why the ball was passed the way it was, or why Max rolled the way he did. I mean, it was a very easy 4-on-3 to create, and again, I attribute that to just a lot of fatigue.
JJ, you went to Bronny in the first quarter instead of Shake or Cam. Why did you want to see a look at him there?
Yeah, just felt like on a back-to-back, just him giving us energy, I think, was the goal. I maybe put him in a tough spot, flying up yesterday and, nationally televised game and Philly, all that stuff. It's, he didn't play well, but he's been playing great, in the Stay Ready games, and he's been playing great in the G. So, I have confidence in him, but, obviously didn't provide that, at a high level.
The other thing too, I think I'm looking at it right here. Dorian and Jackson, I think, had like 9 fouls in 36 minutes combined. How much of an issue was the fouling for you guys tonight?
Dorian's 3 of his 4 were because we couldn't contain the basketball and nobody was in a shift, and he just came over to try to save a basket. So, he didn't have a lot of juice tonight either. I mean, we were searching for juice. We couldn't find it. Everything was dry.